Let's go. All right, hello and welcome to round 10 here at GP Prague. We're going to see Pascal Viren play against Kazutuka Naide. We've recorded all the matches because we've been watching the draft all morning. The players have already started playing, so we're going to do a little bit of catch-up here. And here it's the perfect turn to play for Pascal Viren. Seder Wayfinder mills away a couple of lands, Heap Doll, Eternal Witness, but finds the forest that he wants. And he can keep churning away with his deck. So many small interactions. I really want to see how he finishes off the game.
Yeah, this is just the perfect 2-drop for him. It gives him, well, a free land in hand, 2 creatures in the graveyard, very important for the triple spider spawning, and also a blocker for, well, at this point, both of Naide's creatures.
Yeah, and Naide has actually a good start with a Chrome Crusade and Arena Athlete. If there's an Umbra or a Conviction coming, like it can be a pretty fast clock on the Japanese player's side of the board.
Could get out of hand pretty rapidly. Looks like he has drafted a nice example of the red-white heroic deck, which often tries to go white and attack with cheap creatures.
It's cool. Kadama's Reach finds the swamp, puts it into play. So Pascal Viren's mana is looking very nice this time around. There's a Hissing Iguana and a swing with everything here. And I think Pascal Viren will be very happy to trade with the Arena Athlete. Take 2 damage total after combat. And he's going to try to set up his own plays. Just drew a spider spawning and he can already create 3 1/2s.
That's actually pretty good, given that Naide is only playing 1 toughness creatures. Seems good to me. That Hissing Iguana might be able to deal a lot of damage over the course of the game, but at least the spider spawning tokens will hold it off as an attacker.
Yeah, I mean, Pascal does have a little bit of removal with the double Vengeful Rebirth. He also get around the ground with the Firing Phoenix that he has in his hand as well.
Alright, so no play at all for Kazutuka, whereas Pascal is still developing his board.
Ooh, Sky Spear Cavalry is a good blocker for the Firing Phoenix and a good attacker, even into spiders potentially, though.
Well, at the moment, if Naide would attack, if the board stands like this, Pascal could just block with everything, and then, well, Naide would trade his Sky Spear Cavalry for a token and the Firewing Phoenix, which could eventually come back from the graveyard. Alternatively, Pascal could just jump block with a spider token. Or actually, no, the best way is to triple block with 3 spider tokens. Because then, with first strike, 1 spider goes down. And then in regular damage, the 2 spiders would take down the cavalry. Yeah. But Pascal just probably plays around some pump spells, goes for the jump block.
Yeah. Another Sky Spear Cavalry, so taking to the air is Naide there. A member of the Haruya Hopes in his green hoodie going through Hall, doing quite good work. And we've seen quite a few Japanese players actually here in this tournament. We saw Yoshiko Ikawa also on 8-1 with a great record after day 1, and a couple of more.
Still, I'd say that Pascal is the more experienced player in this matchup.
Platinum Pro and a Haruya Pro as well. He's got the upper hand in that regard. All right, and here start the Fauna Shaman shenanigans.
Ooh,
discard Anger, so give everything you have haste.
Nice.
Look for... what's it going to be?
It's also another creature in his graveyard for the spider spawning. I was actually curious to see how likely it would be to pick up 3 copies of spider spawning, 3 or more actually within the same draft. So I ran the numbers and I came out to 5.9% to have 3 or more spider spawning.
So 1 in 20 drafts?
In the entire draft, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So this is definitely on the high end of variance. But when it works out, you can definitely craft a deck around them.
Yep. So here comes the Founder Shaman finds a Seder Wayfinder. Pascal wants to mill more stuff in his graveyard and develop his mana as well, because he wants to build up towards a big spider spawning flashback maybe on the following turn. But he's going to start with the Wicker Bow Elder first, probably scared of maybe some big auras being put on the Sky Spear cavalries. So that with the Elder, he can shoot it down.
It gives you a good bit of insurance. We saw Mark Tobias in particular draft all these Sky Spear cavalries with the Mammoth Umbra. Right, if you put a +2/+3 enchantment onto it, then double strike suddenly gets a whole lot better.
Just a chump block here.
But Pascal's not too worried about it. Even if it weren't for the Elder, he had more than enough spiders to throw in front of all these attackers.
Yeah, more flyers though coming down for Kazatuka.
I mean, even though Pascal is not, seemingly progressing his board as much, just jump blocking all the time, eventually his graveyard will be filled up, and he's just creating, could even go up to double-digit numbers of spiders with a single spider spawning.
Sure. He has an iguana of his own as well.
All right.
And here already, he has plenty of options to try to. He has still life to work with, so he's going to kick it off with the Wayfinder, probably binning more creatures. An Eidolon finds Zalando. Plays the mountain, and for 5 mana, he plays another spider spawning from his hand. So how much is that? All right, just 5.
Only 5.
Only 5. Yeah, but he has enough mana to start flashing them back on the following turn. So that's it's a spider infestation, Frank.
Yep. Yeah, and he it seems like he has reasonable blocks already potentially lined up. Right, the 4/2 flyer can jump in front of the 3/3 flyer, and he can put, for example, all of his spider spawning tokens to block one of the double strikers. Maybe chum block the other. Oh,
there's a Hyena Umbra on the Emancipation Angel because Pascal did tap out.
Yeah, there's no mana for the Elder at this point.
Yeah, but I assume there's going to be a bunch of spiders jumping in front of at least one of the Sky Spear cavalry.
Yeah, so you either I don't think you want to be taking damage when you're facing hissing Iguana, so I would definitely try to block at least all 3 creatures. You could try to take down a Sky Spear cavalry in combat by lining up enough blockers for it. Alternatively, you could just triple jump. I might have put 2 other spiders in front of one of the cavalries to at least take it down. But
yeah, well. I would have liked to see that as well. But Pascal has other plans. Has a Vengevine here. Remember, he also still has the Anger in the graveyard. I can imagine some huge churn being possible from Pascal. But
yeah, where Nida is like, wait, wasn't I the player attacking here? What is this all of a sudden? It's a good point. Like if you flashback spider spawning, then not only do you get 5 new tokens, but also they all have haste, so you can attack for loads of damage all of a sudden. I don't think Pascal can set up lethal this turn yet, but he's not even too far off.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I would love to see. He's swinging here. I would love to see Pascal maybe use Vengeful Rebirth to kill the Iguanar, so that he can. His chump blocking plan stays on for a longer time. All right. So Nida takes 4 down to 16 here from the Firewing Phoenix. The Chrome Crusader dies. Was there a ping? Did Naida forget?
No.
He did say it. All right, and there's a third spider spawning from hand.
From hand. All right, spiders for days. I hope you don't have a fear of spiders if you're watching this, because they are gonna keep coming.
All right, there's a Soul's Fire on what looks like to be the Firewing Phoenix.
Phoenix?
All right, not face.
Yeah, that was my first impression. Pascal is at 10. With the hissing Iguana on the battlefield, the only realistic way I see for Nida to win this game is just via direct damage. I don't think he will be able to profitably keep attacking in the face of all those spiders.
Oh, I think Pascal's going to line up some big blocks here. He's so many spiders already died. Okay, so chumping the Sky Spear cavalries.
Yep.
I mean, double strike is really quite annoying, but the high number gets shut down with the Wicker Well. The Emancipation Angel dies. 2 other ones die as well, so Pascal's down to 7 here.
Also the, let's see, 3 spiders died and the Emancipation Angel, right?
Yeah, so
that's
Vengevine gets discarded.
oh boy.
So Rutwala, yes. Rutwala it is. I think Pascal might be setting up some sort of lethal here.
This is going to be incredible.
Because I think...
And then the Rutwala has haste 2, thanks to the anger in the graveyard. You then play a second creature, triggering the Vengevine, and the second creature also has haste.
Can he go for lethal here?
I mean, Knight is at 16. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah,
and he has a blocker for, say, for the Wickerboar Elder.
He has a land as well. So if he now uses Fauna Shaman to discard the Rootwall, finds a cheap creature. He doesn't have that many cheap creatures. What I'm thinking was like try to find a cheap creature that you can play, and then still Vengeful Rebirth, either the Iguana or try to go face.
Sure.
Because he can deal with the Vengeful Rebirth. He can deal 5, right? Returning a spider spawning. But he might just play it slow here. We might have just gotten a little overexcited here, but Pascal's doing the math.
Well, this is not a game of Magic. This is one of those what's the play puzzles.
Yeah, indeed.
Like there is a solution. You can somehow win the game this turn if you can find it.
All right. So discarding Rutwala, playing Madness, finding Iguana of his own.
Okay. So if you play that one, triggering Vengevine, swing in with everything. The Iguana blocks, say, the Elder. You pump the Rootwalla. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 damage and 1 pick from the Iguana. This is not...
Boom! Swing!
This is incredible. Where did this come from?
10, 11, yeah, casual. I think it's exactly lethal with like just combat damage, and then the Iguana triggers as well.
Yep.
And Pascal Weirin just takes the game.
I love this deck.
Wow, that was amazing. This is Ultimate Masters Draft, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're here.
Yep. I thought this game was gonna take a while with like flashback spider spawning, flashback it again, take it easy. But yep, Pascal saw the road to victory.
Yeah, he has a Merc Servitor as well.
Out of nowhere. Merc Servitor?
Yeah, 1 mana, 1/1, and if you have 1 in play, you can return all the ones from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't think he has too many in his deck list. I think he has it in his sideboard. Maybe he has 2. Just 1?
He has 3 in his sideboard.
Okay.
So we don't know how many he boarded in, but
look. He's building his combo, Fauna Shaman with Merc Servitors. Okay, the Servitor cannot block Arena Athlete, already putting in the work. Good start from Kazatuka.
That seems like a weird and underpowered card, but against a deck filled with 1 toughness creatures. Right in the previous game we saw Arena Athlete, a Cohen Crusader, Hissing Iguanar. Just having a random 1/1 for 1 is actually a very relevant body. And when your deck has some synergies around it to maybe bring back other copies from the graveyard.
Sure.
Yeah, seems fine to bring it in. Yeah.
Sure.
Pascal went deep with this draft, and he also might as well go deep while sideboarding.
Yeah, I mean he did start off with a Heap Doll in the main deck, so he probably found a plan of like swapping that out, maybe 2 more like average cards to get those Merc Servitors. I guess decent blockers, or chump blockers, or maybe some value with Iguanas. If he can hold off, of course. He's already down to 13 here, and he has to face off against the Mana Screwed Kazuchika Naide, who did find a mountain here, though. Has a God's Willing in his hand, too.
I mean, if you're Naide, you want to keep attacking, because you're certainly not winning the late game against Pascal. But it looks like he doesn't want to trade his Arena Athlete for the Firewing Phoenix.
Alright, Tetmon's High Priest. Alright, that can bring back the Ronom Unicorn the next turn, if Kazatuka wants it to. Now Pascal thinking, okay, he's gonna draw here. Gonna start off with the Wayfinder, get into milling. Ooh,
and there is a Mirror Retriever.
And an Anger.
Oh wow.
He already milled an Anger, he doesn't have to do any extra work here. He really, I think he wanted a Forest here because he's a little stuck on green mana. But playing Hissing Iguana certainly could be worse for Pascal Weirin. We saw the work it did last time around, and so did the Anger in his graveyard, giving all his creatures haste.
Yep. One creature that's gonna get haste on the next turn is the Mirror Servitor from the graveyard.
Sick.
It will return to the battlefield thanks to the one that's currently there.
Yeah, Cathodian. I think Pascal's also holding. There's the servitor. Pascal's holding a crushing canopy. Okay, he drew another one, so he sideboarded heavily in this game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm pretty sure he's going to put the Fauna Shaman to good work. Maybe. Oh, he also has a Mad Prophet.
If he boarded in the third Mere Servitor, that's like a nice one to get with the Fauna Shaman just for value. Maybe first get Basking Rudwalla, so you discard that, play it with Madness.
Yeah.
Then the Vengevine, then the Servitor. It's an entire value chain package in the deck.
Yeah, I mean now Kazatuk will have a really hard time attacking through the ground because of all the servitors. I mean, you still need to keep one in place so the others come back. But still, like if he finds the third one, he has like 2 infinite chump blockers, and while also dealing damage to Kazatuk Kanaida. Okay, big attack with everything here.
So one Mirror Servitor is kind of a free chump blocker. I don't like the Hissing Iguana can definitely block and perhaps trade for one of the other ones. Even though Tetmos High Priest is the more high value creature, if you block it and neither has a God's Willing or another combat trick to save it, he gets a free heroic trigger, and you don't really want to do that.
But I think Pascal's plan now will be he might use Crushing Canopy at the end of turn to kill the Conviction, so the Arena Athlete dies because he already took 1 damage. I think Pascal, is he going to pull the trigger here? There's no white mana to return the Conviction either.
Yeah, especially because of that, I think this is the time to cast Conviction. Yep.
So that dies as well, buddy. Yeah, he took a damage from the very powerful Merc Servitor, and who's then coming back. Because he also took some damage on the way. Pascal Viren also has an Eternal Witness in his hand. If he ever gets double green, he can do some things. All right, there's a Mad Prophet, a great card that he picked up quite late in the draft, and is going to do very good work. Maybe alongside the Fauna Shaman as well.
Indeed. For example, what Pascal might be able to accomplish is discard any creature to Fauna Shaman, search for Basking Rudwalla, then activate the Mad Prophet, discard Basking Rudwalla, play it for the Madness cost, draw a card.
Yep.
Next turn, I don't know, keep
Spider
going
spawning.
somehow. Yeah.
Spider spawning for something. Look at that. Kazatuk Kanaida is attacking.
Yeah, what else are you
True.
are you gonna do? Can't really just sit back and let your opponent have all the fun.
Very true. All right, so there's Fauna Shaman, discarding Eternal Witness. Jeez, finding Basking Rudwalla. It's happening.
Oh yes.
.gif.
The value chain is on.
Okay. I think Pascal is also digging for some lands. Like another forest would doing well. Finds a State of Wayfinder, even better.
Yes, that's like a forest that will eventually add a creature into the graveyard for spider spawning.
He's like putting all his creatures in front of just jump blocking. I wonder what he's up to, Frank. What do you think?
Could it have something to do with spiders?
It could be. That's it from Kazatuk. No turn for no play on 4 mana rather.
Okay, don't forget to mirror Servitor trigger.
Right. Do we have a spider spawning, Pascal? It would be already pretty solid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Jeez. Just thinking about it just makes me antsy. Okay, probably going to add a little bit extra here as well. Okay, 3 forests and a Vengeful Rebirth.
Sadly, no creatures for the spider spawning, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, Pascal can also Vengeful Rebirth phase, return Vengeful Rebirth, Vengeful Rebirth phase, return Spider spawning, or return Eternal Witness, then return something else.
The burn plan all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, Pascal's deck just has a lot of stuff going for it. If he's not dying early, or like dying to fly, because that seems a little bit of his weakness.
Are we attacking all of a sudden?
No fear. Alright, so we're going to see a God's Willing on the Tetmos High Priest.
Yeah, to trigger Heroic, and that will return a creature card with mana cost 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So this effectively gives a surprise blocker.
Yeah, Scries to the top. So probably good card coming for Kazatuk, and who has plenty of stuff left in his hand, looks like.
Oh, and another surprise blocker.
Wow, okay, Arena Athlete. And then there's 2 blockers for those 2 creatures. I think Pascal at this point probably doesn't mind. I'm sure he has some sort of plan figured out.
Well, his deck contains 3 copies of Spider spawning, so any creatures going to the graveyard are generally fine.
There's a Mammoth Umbra on the Tetmon's High Priest. Returns Ronan Unicorn again. All the value.
Yeah, but Pascal has effectively infinite chum blockers with the 2 Mer Servitors.
Yeah, he keeps chum blocking, guys. I smell some spiders. He does return a Firewing Phoenix to his hand, and I also think he has a Crushing Canopy in his hand as well to deal with the Umbra if he needs it. There's a Forest
or a Flyer.
Yeah, I'm surprised he exposed his Mad Prophet and found a Shaman like that. So plays the Firewing Phoenix and has the Crushing Canopy left up. I mean, he still has so much time, like with the Servitor doing chum blocking duty, and the Firewing Phoenix is also like he's all one land short of just like return it, play it, return it, play it if it ever dies. Plus, with 4 power, it's so easy to trade.
Yeah, you do make a good point that maybe if he had kept the Fauna Shaman and the Mad Prophet on the battlefield, he still had a value chain going. Then again, he's still in a fine shape.
Yeah, of course.
And Nighty did have to have like 2 ways to target his Tetmos High Priest for it to work out badly.
Yeah. So now he's blocking, using the Phoenix to block the High Priest. Yeah. So both are going to go together. I don't think Pascal tapped the best way, but in this way he can possibly bluff a little bit more. Okay.
So his plan might be to
okay.
Cast a Crushing Canopy on the Umbra at some point,
Sure.
but that's not going to matter when the High Priest gets protection from red.
Yeah, so that's looks like it's going to be protection from red. Scry's top again. It's like I think Kazuchika is like playing cards, but he's not really getting anywhere here.
No. I think Nida has the perfect read on Crushing Canopy. I think the players also exchanged deck lists, given that this was the feature pod. Because if you wait with the Gods Willing until Pascal casts the Crushing Canopy post-combat...
Servitor, oh, look at that. Kazutuka Naida actually reminds Pascal Viren about his trigger. What a nice fellow.
It is mandatory,
yeah.
Even though I think Pascal was actually forgetting it.
He's getting a little bit frazzled here, it seems like, but we found something here, and it is a spider spawning from Pascal Viren. How much is that? And remember, they all have haste too. If Pascal decided to start to take 7 spiders, no, 9 spiders,
and this has flashback too. So next turn we'll have
just
9 spiders
Pascal,
again.
Please, oh come on.
I mean, I'm sure they will be getting in on the next turn, right? Then he has 18 spiders, all with haste. That must be the time where he's attacked. But you're right. Even on this turn, he could have attacked with like 8 spiders and still have a bunch of chum blockers behind.
Yeah, I'm sure Kazuchika Naida is developing arachnophobia as we speak here. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Like, if you play another one, he can swing with his full board.
Yeah. How do you beat this? I think the only.
You don't. You just don't.
The only way is like direct damage, just a bunch of burn spells. But with Pascal still at 11,
yeah,
I don't see that happening.
And remember, Pascal Viren still has 2 more spider spawning in his deck.
Yeah.
They have flashback as well.
Yeah, it is one of the more powerful, let's say, I win cards in the entire format. Why is Pascal not just flashing back the spider spawning and getting in there?
He's just playing it slow here. There's no Cosmotronic Wave in the format, I don't think. No Vulture effect that would make all the creatures not able to block. But I think Pascal just setting up his mana, playing it safe. Now he's going to be able to destroy the Mammoth Umbra.
Chat is saying it was because he was keeping up, or it was playing around Settle the Wreckage mana. It might have been a thing for Standard.
Yeah, alright, so another Mammoth Umbra on the Tetmos High Priest brings back Save Holy. Yeah, this is not really getting anywhere now. No. Pascal is going to also bring back the Phoenix for 4.
That's 1 fewer spider.
Oh no. What is he going to do? Yeah, it's just like Pascal Viren is taking it nice and steady. His Firing Phoenix has haste, so I think he can attack for 4 here, and then maybe like playing around Dawn Charm or something. That's like a fog effect, pseudo fog effect that could blow him out. So I think Pascal just dealt some incidental damage here with the Firing Phoenix. Remember, Anger still in graveyard, and maybe next turn he's gonna just swing with everything, or mostly everything.
I'm looking over Kazatuka's deck list, and I just don't see a way out for him.
Yeah, look at that. Spider spawning, flashback, more spiders. 3, 6, 8. One less because remember the Firing Phoenix. Look at that. We got 17 spiders off of 1 spider spawning. It looks like, he's keeping back the servitors. But that's it. Because like, your deck's great. What is going on? I had no chance.
No.
That was amazing. All right. There you see Pascal Weir in the background. That was a time bomb match. He
He's
wanted
happy.
to relive the good times. Let me put it this way. All right. That was pretty sweet. And so that was our main match from round 10 here at GP Prague. But we got more magic coming for you. And so we're gonna prepare some messages for you, and then we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to GP Prague. We just saw Pascal Wieren's awesome spider spawning deck.
Loved it.
Yeah, loved it. We just talked to Pascal a little bit in the bag, and he was very happy. He even said, like, I didn't play that well. I maybe could have drafted a little bit better, but ultimately my deck's still busted. So
Yes.
he's very confident and maybe going 3-0 in his draft. But we'll see what other people are at the table. And we recorded a match between Alexander Rosdahl and Mark Tobias. We also have Mark's deck here. We saw the draft, and this is in the end what he came up with. We were worried about the creature count, but in the end it looks okay-ish. But he has so many Umbras. Double Hyena Umbra, Boar Umbra, Mammoth Umbra, and then alongside Conviction and a couple of other tricks and Repel, the Darkness, God's Willing, Prey Upon. His deck looks okay.
Yeah, actually looking at it in the viewer here, it looks better than what I had in mind during the draft. He ended up not splashing for the Sovereigns of Lost Alara, just favoring consistent mana over anything. And I guess he has enough early drops to get on board early and have some creatures around to put the Umbras on. He also chose to play only one Mammoth Umbra and, make sure that his curve is reasonable. It actually looks like a fine green-white heroic deck.
Yeah, it looks okay to me, so definitely a deck that can get some wins and has a very clear plan in his execution. All right, so we'll see Mark Tobias face off against Alexander Rosdahl. There's the match right away. Rosdahl starts off with a Swamp, and it looks like a blue-black control deck from him. So let's see if Mark Tobias will be able to punish him there. A turn to Wandering Champion is going to get Rune snagged. It's a great start for Rosdahl, who also has a Plains in hand, so maybe some sort of Esper control deck or whatever else he might be brewing up there. Yep. We did see 2 Unburial Rites in the draft. There's a Circular Logic countering the Tetmos High Priest.
Control indeed, not letting anything resolve at all.
Vessel of Endless Rest.
I fully expect that whatever the next play from Mark is going to be, it will be Rune snagged as well.
So, Staunch Hearted Warrior.
Oh, no. something resolved. Hold the presses.
Yeah, Alexander Rosdahl looks to be developing in mana here. There's an Unholy Hunger paying for 2 as well because he already has Spell Mastery. I saw an Ulamog's Crusher in his hand, so he's firmly control ramp. Yep. But is he going to have an answer for the Sky Spear Cavalry? Because once that picks up some enchantments, it's going to be really hard to deal with.
So the plan for Rosdahl is to just answer everything that Mark is playing and then win in the late game with powerful 8 drops.
Another Unholy Hunger. These have been going around late in the draft. And now if he managed to have a land, he can play the Ulamog's Crusher right away. Yep. There's a Hero of Lena Tower, Conviction. Yep, and pump it twice.
Yep. The reason, by the way, why Alexander is playing these Hungers main phase is to play around God's Willing.
Yep, and that's always a good plan. There were quite a few in the draft. And of course, players have exchange deck lists, so who knows about it. Look at that. Mark Tobias, I think he has a Prey Upon. He's putting 1 green mana to the side, and he's counting like how big can I make the Hero of Lena Tower. There's the Prey Upon.
Well, big enough.
+4/+4.
Yeah, anytime you target it, you can pay X mana to put X +1/+1 counters on
Take
it.
Take 8?
Yes, 8 power, big enough to fight with a Mayamoti Djinn. Yeah, definitely big enough to get into the red zone.
Yeah, definitely big enough to attack past an Ulamog's Crusher, because that's the last card left in Alexander Rosdahl's hands. So even if the Crusher comes down, just like pointless.
That's insane. Ulamog's Crusher is not big enough. Yeah. And actually the hero can get bigger and bigger because you can just return Conviction, play it again, trigger Heroic. You can just keep pumping mana into it. Yeah,
the Ulamog's Crusher might be on like chump blocking duty. Like, what kind of world are we living in? There's a Sky Spear Cavalry. Plumeveil, okay, gets played here as a defensive creature. There's a Ulamog's Crusher. Buddy, I got bad news for you.
Well, I guess the Plumeveil can chump block for a turn, and then you attack with the Ulamog's Crusher and just hope to draw, something. At that point, an answer to both creatures. I would be really surprised if Alexander gets out of this alive.
Yeah, I think Mark Tobias can make can return the Conviction, play it on the hero, get 4 more counters. That's gonna make it into an 11/11, and so with the Conviction, it would be a 12/14. So can kill both creatures comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah, the double block is indeed something that you have to be mindful of for sure.
Hero of Lena Tower doing work.
Currently a 7/7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Tobias could also think about suiting up the Sky Spear Cavalry so that it can get past the Plumeveil, but he's just looks like he's gonna make a big Hero of Lena Tower.
I definitely like going up to 13 toughness so that the double block is not a good option.
Exactly.
So currently 7/7, 2 counters, making it a 9/9. All right. Well, now the double block is an option. At which point, sure, the Skyspiel Cavalry will deal 6 damage in total.
Okay. Interesting play. So it's a 9/9 hero of Lena Tower. He's going to kill the Plume Whale, though, not the Crusher. Remember, the Crusher has to attack. And this takes care of the fire.
Well, Alexander still has to draw an answer for the flyer.
So
Otherwise, he's dead.
Unholy Hunger, maybe? Frantic Surge?
Has to be something with madness or flashback. Nope. Nice try, though.
Yeah, I was like, he could have maybe found Grave Scrabbler, Return Plume Veil, and block. Like, he probably had out, so. But I like the way he just milled them right into his grave. It's like, might as well try it. All right. Turn to the Range Assistant. That's probably a good card for Alexander Rosdahl's deck, because he has the mana ramp plan, and I think he's the person with one of the Unburial Rights. So maybe you can check his deck list, Frank, because we just got them from the judges. And let's see what the Mark II beer starts off with. Kitchen Things. That's pretty good against all the removal from Rosdahl.
Alexander indeed has 2 copies of Unburial Rights, actually.
Okay.
Just splashing with 2 planes, but yeah, when you combine it with cards like Frantic Surge and Ulamog's Crusher.
Sure.
That's a plan.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 3 in total in the draft. You know, we talked about Spider Spawn, triple Spider Spawning. We also have triple Unburial Rights in one draft. The likelihood of that is probably even lower, unless they're part of the same print run.
Yes, well, if it's independent, would be 5.9 times, 5.9 in terms of percentage.
Sure. So 27?
No, like 0.059 times 0.059. But let's not get too deep into the actual math.
All right, Kitchen Things swung in, but the Wickerbow Elder was killed. White Unholy Hunger at instant speed. The Range Assistant helping to keep up mana for Rosdahl, who already collected all 3 colors of his mana. And his deck seems okay. Quite a bit of removal. You know, some Unburial Rights advantage. There's a Skyspiel Cavalry. There's mana. Ooh, no removal spell and no counter spell from Rosdahl.
What does he have in hand? He's not really doing
Probably
anything.
Nothing. Maybe like a Crusher, and he still can't play it. He has to wait one more turn.
That is not a good draw for Alexander.
And if Mark has something like God's Willing here to protect his Skyspiel Cavalry, it could go all the way.
I mean, Mark is just hitting his curve. Just a creature on turn 3, 4, and 5, and put him into the red zone.
Oh, down to 7 here? I'm pretty sure if Alexander Rosdahl taps out, like, he's going to be dead. He has a Just to Win in his hand.
And Mark is not taking his foot off of the gas. There are also no notable sweepers in this format, so I wouldn't be too worried about some kind of wrath effect.
War Umbra on the Wingsteed Rider rather than the Skyspiel Cavalry. I think Alexander might have something to say about that. He's going to mill Dreamscape Artist, another nice enabler for his 3-color deck. There's the Just to Win.
All right. And this is also the reason why Mark didn't play his Umbra pre-combat on one of his attackers. He was at least smelling that something was up. Alexander with so much mana hasn't really played anything. You don't want to play your Umbra into a bounce spell or removal spell and then not even be able to attack with the creature that you were targeting.
All right, Frantic is floating a mana. Maybe Angel of Despair coming or something similar. Does he have one?
He does have an Angel of Despair, so yeah, floating a white. So that would work.
He's thinking. I think he has a Plume Whale in his hand, another decent creature that can at least trade with the Skyspiel Cavalry. All right, discards 2 lands, so he looks like he's been a little flooded here, but into 3.
Yep. But he is floating a white, so he has enough mana to cast Angel of Despair.
He does have it. There goes the Skyspiel Cavalry.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, I used to play Angel of Despair and Constructed. That, of course, alongside other cards, but with signets and so on, you could power that early, and just such a great effect, and the card is just so good. It feels really powerful.
Or also discard it and reanimate it from the graveyard. Both were viable plans. Well, same holds for Ultimate Masters Limited.
Yeah, indeed.
Whatever,
good enough.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Good old times.
All right, now this attack by the angel does feel a bit scary, because Mark is capable of loading up his Wingsteed Rider with a bunch of auras and getting in for a bunch of damage. We had seen Plume Veil the previous game already, so that must indeed be what Mark is thinking, and indeed it is also what's going on. Looks like Mark did not want to trade, or actually jump attack his Wingsteed Rider into the likely Plume Veil. Yeah, attacking with the Kitchen Finks just to test the waters. That's fine. But it seems like Mark is just holding a bunch of lands at this point.
Yeah, and Alexander Rosedal seems to have
turned the corner.
Yeah, turned the corner. He has Unburial Rights in his hand as well. Now he gets to play a Mahamoti Jin, and his creatures seem to be firmly taking off. And Mark Tobias, maybe he could have